Welcome back, horror fans, cinephiles, and Giallo enthusiasts. It is Tanner Leeser here for TheKingInGiallo. This is another unscripted talking head movie review, and I'm gonna go a little quicker in this one because I've got to record a podcast coming up, but also I'm gonna try to just be a little bit more concise. I'm not gonna get too into the nitty gritty of this one. So the movie I watched earlier today that I'm going to talk about is Death Occurred Last Night. I believe it is 1970, directed by Duccio Tessari, who made The Bloodstained Butterfly also. Oh, then the next year is when he made it, not the same year. But, okay, so interesting. I also earlier today watched Investigation of a Citizen Above Suspicion, but early in the morning, I woke up at 3:30 in the morning to watch Naked Violence and then cut that review. And I didn't plan this, but while kind of looking up a few things about Death Occurred Last Night, I realized that those Naked Violence and Death Occurred Last Night are both written by I just don't want to butcher his name, Giorgio Scerbanenco, and they're both novels in the same series of. There's 4 novels, and 2 of them were made into Giallo films, and the character is Duccio Lamberti, or Duca Lamberti. They said Duca in Death Occurred Last Night, but it was also in English. But I think the name is Duccia, but I could be totally wrong. But for the sake of this, I'll just say Duca, because that's what they said. But so I'll talk a little bit about the plot, and then I'll just kind of get into what I wanted to say. There's some interesting similarities between those 2 movies. What I'll say for this movie is, in terms of the cast and crew, is, I already said, written by Giorgio Scerbanenco, or at least the original source material. The screenplay is written by Duccio Tessari and Biagio Proietti. It stars Frank Wolff, but there's also performances by Eva Renzi and Beryl Cunningham. So what this is about, this man comes into the police to talk about his daughter who's missing, and she is 20 something years old. She's tall. She's not like a little girl. She's 6 foot. She's 20 something year old, but she's got the mind of a 3-year-old. And he looks after her, and she stays at home. They have a whole thing where he'll call, and she knows to answer on the 3rd call. And as he goes on, he'll explain that she's still an adult. She just has the mind of a little girl. But with that, she's got certain impulses, certain feelings, certain things that you get when you get older. But they say she's kind of got nympho tendencies. But anyways, she goes missing, and he relays all this information to Duca, trying to find her. And long story short of it is, they look into a prostitute ring, they look into the pimps, and eventually the girl's body is found burnt, and they know that she was burned alive. And Duca tries to find the perpetrators before the father gets to them, and takes matters into his own hands. That's literally all I'll say about the plot for this movie. I kind of want to talk about just the movie overall, and the themes, how it was done. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I will say this movie I feel could have been a lot better. I don't dislike it, but it certainly was a mixed bag of, there was some good stuff, and then there were some really bad decisions. And one of the main things, and I've actually seen this criticized, the music does not match the tone of the movie. It is very almost like acid rock with heavy rock organs, and some of the stuff works in terms of, it's a 60s movie, but it'll be very high energy, the music, when there's nothing going on in the movie to justify it. And sometimes you get that juxtaposition in Giallo films, but with this, it just felt tonally off. And there's a clip I will play, because it was so unintentionally funny. when the father is shown the dead body of the girl, it does this.
E invece tu che fai, che vai, che sai, che poi
Yeah, it does not match. There's a lot of stuff like that. That's obviously the most like egregious example of it, but there's a lot of stuff like that where you're just like, dude, this is like kind of a dark, sad movie, and you're not really playing it that way. You're really kind of just, I don't know. I feel like there was a lot of heads on this, and like there was not really a good direction, which is crazy because I'm not saying Duccio Tessari is not a good director, because he is a good director. So I really don't know what happened, but this is kind of what I mean by the movie could have been better, and it should have been better. It had a good enough cast. I like Frank Wolff, however you say it. He was also in The Cold Eyes of Fear in terms of Giallo movies, and before he took his own life. But I like him. He's a good actor, and the script is good, at least the basic idea of what's going on. And it's interesting because both this and Naked Violence, they have a source material. They have a novel or a novella that they're based on. But in both cases, the directors kind of did something a little different. I think Naked Violence, Fernando De Leo did something like way different. I don't know how different Tessari's film was from Scerbanenco's novel, but it's clear that something was just lost in translation between one medium to the next. And I'm trying to think what else I can say about this movie. Like, in terms of Giallo-ness, I mean, it's shows up as a Giallo film. I would describe this as a Giallo-Poliziotteschi, which I'm pretty sure it probably is. But yes, this one just is a little, and then even the investigation, it's a little slower. It's not particularly thrilling. All in all, I honestly feel like this is not a great review, but it's just, I just didn't have a lot to say about this movie. And it wasn't even bad, because if it was bad, I could rip into this. I could really have a good review where I just dig in. This, I'm just kind of sad because, like I said, this movie should have been so much better. Because it's crazy. You take then next year, Duccio Tessari did The Bloodstained Butterfly. Yeah, next year he did the Bloodstained Butterfly. It's a phenomenal Giallo. It's kind of underappreciated, but it's a great movie. It's a great film. It's a great Giallo. It's solid. I mean, it's different for some people because it's like half of it is a courtroom drama, but it does it very well. And I'd be interested to see this movie remastered, like Bloodstained Butterfly, with crisp picture quality and good sound. But I don't know if that would make it much better, because at the end of the day, they need a new soundtrack that would really help. But beyond that, it's crazy also because I watched this movie. This was the last movie I watched today, and I'm already forgetting details about it. I've kind of already pushed a lot of it out of my memory. I just remember some things that were good, that worked, but I remember a lot of stuff that just rubbed me the wrong way. And like I said, it's not that the movie is terrible. It's that it's just like, there's some decisions that are just like, now why would you do that? Why would you do that? That doesn't match this. And so this might be up there for one of the most disappointing Giallo films, because I feel like there was good people on it. Something happened. I don't know. That's really all I can think to say. I can't really remember anything else. And I saw this less than 8 hours ago, maybe. I don't know, man. Anyways, I hope you got something out of this. I really am off my game on this one. Been up for a very, very long time, and I'm going to be up for even longer. But if you watched and you got something out of this, I'm glad. And if you made it this far, thank you. But I'm going to end this one right here before I hate myself. Thank you for watching. This is Tanner Leeser for The King in Giallo. If anything else, I'll see you next time.
The eyes. There are three possible shapes: circular, oval, or elliptical.
His were sort of Chinesey.
Don't talk. Draw. What shape are Chinese eyes?
Oval.